Masachet Hullin Daf Lamed Gimel Amud Aleph, 28 lines down, Mishnah. Ashahid behena haya ba'of someone slaughtered a domestic animal, haya, a wild animal, or a bird. V'liyat mehen damen, but yatsa mehen damen, blood did not come out. Kishrim de kasher. Benechlim be'edam misuba'ot, you can even eat them with unwashed hands, which are considered tameh. The fish look should have done because this meat was not made wet by blood, and therefore it's not eligible to become tameh. So it wasn't wetted. The Bishmer says that they became automatically muhshar for tuma, which means susceptible for tuma once they were slaughtered. Tamad lays them down. Like the only reason why if they eat on unclean hands because there's no blood. I turned out there was blood. Hey, so you can't eat with unclean hands. Am I why? Yadayim shnioten. Hands are like a shani. Ben shani also shlishi b'chulin, and the shani does not make a shlishi b'chulin. So what's that? We had it prior in tuma in general throughout Shas, and that is when you have a tum'ah from the source, tum'ah from the source is the Rishon, Shani, if that touches something, and if that touches something, then it becomes a Shlishi. Only time that changes is when you have an Av tum'ah, like a dead person, but that's one level before Rishon. So for non-Kadosh items, they only have one and two. There's no Shlishi, unless it's kadosh. If it's kadosh, then there can be a shlishi. The Gemara says we might be behind the skin. So the Gemara answers, why you have to assume that it's tomah cholim? Maybe it is a shlishi and it is talking about a kadosh item. Tachtana hayad mentioned hayad the ilu kochim because there's a kochim that are hayot hayad kochim ika. Now, is there such a thing? Where it says the two another proof that's not kochim that was disproof. And so, but basically, how do we know that we're talking about cholim? Because we mentioned hayad and there's no hayad that's brought as a korban. Another proof, even if there's no blood, they're kosher for how would it be kosher to be eaten? Who atzmal dam today put the point of slaughtering korbanot to throw blood. But to another proof that it's not talking about kochim, even kochim ki yasem mehem dan mimashi if blood came out, it would be susceptible to tuma. V'amar b'chiyah barabba mariach nami nana dam shekochim she'ena machshir. Even if the blood of kochim does not make it susceptible to tuma. Shemar ala aretz tishbechenu kamayim. Blood of an animal is spilled in the ground like water. Only if it becomes, if it's spilled like water, it makes something tuma. But it's not spilled, if it's used for korbanot, then it does not make it machshir. So it wouldn't be different. Versus two, another proof that's not koshim. We said it's not koshim just because no blood has come out. Does that mean it's not become tuma? At the same time, it should be settled for tuma because it is. We have the respect of Kedusha. We said elsewhere that our respect for Kodesh makes it susceptible for Tumah. Right, so now the question is, now that we know we're talking about Cholin, why are we to worry about our hands? Gemara says, in my case where it was a Cholin animal, but you bought it with Maaser Shani money. Would look against the mayor. It's not Kol on be'at ma'im midivre safrim, anything that requires to be dipped in a mikveh, according to the Torah, maybe the Rabbanan rather, according to Hachmim, but not the Torah. Torah would say the Tahor, min tameh kodesh can make kadosh tuma, tameh. U'posel the Truman also makes Truma pasul. U'mutar v'chlin ma'aser is mutar for chlin ma'aser shani. So, David Meir comes right. Hachmim say ma'aser, no, Hachmim says asur for ma'aser. That's our Mishnah right now. Rameir said no problem, ma'aser shani, we have a problem. Why you'd say that Hachamim would hold that it becomes tameh through a sheni, like unclean hands. They might know the that Mishnah was only about ella b'achled maaser, eating it. Allah ben Yad maaser the achila cholin, but regarding touching a maaser and eating of cholin, no plugi don't mean choket. V'haneg yao, our Mishnah choket is touching it. May tell you, and we can prove it. And echlim b'dem mitzvot be eaten with unclean hands. We lost skin to kasaf the habret to a case where even if someone's feeding it to him. It doesn't say touching, it means it means eating it, means it could be tomarkes even he's being fed. Where I said to markes where our hands are rishon. But Rishon Nazar is going to be Rishon Nazar. Tan says Enadaim Tehilot Holin, our hands can never be considered the beginning of Tumah for Holin, meaning even if they are considered the beginning of Tumah, only for Kedusha, not Chulin. Rabbi Shimon ben Lazar, Rabbi Shimon ben Area, Daim Tichot Chulin, it can't be beginning for Chulin, Ushni Tumah, but Shani for Tumah. Tichot Chulin in Tumah, only for Chulin, but not Tumah. Hachik Gamar. No, this is what it means. Tichilat Afla Chulin. It's beginning even for Chulin and definitely Tumah. Shniyot, when it mentions Shani Tumah, Ein Necholin Lo, but not for Chulin. So our Mishnah that says that meat that became eligible for Tumah can't be eaten with unclean hands, referring to hands that were at the beginning of Rishon, according to Bishon Lazar. The Master is there ever such thing that hands can be the Rishon of Tumah? Where it says, in, yes, the Tanam says, if someone stuck his hands into a tzara'at house, his hands become Rishon Tuma. Diri Akiva, it's going to be Akiva. Hamim Mamrim, Hamim say no. Yadav Shnei, the hands are already considered Shani. The Kula Abiyat Mitzad, Losh Mabiyah. Everybody agrees that that partial entry into the house is not considered a full-on entry. That's why his whole body is not become to definitely. The only question is within the you make a decree. The fact that he put his hands in, are we worried about the entire body? Okay. What does the Gemara say? More Savaya Dav Kikufo Shirin Avram. Rabbi Akiva holds that Hachamim made his hands like his body. Therefore, once his hands enter, his whole body becomes. More Savaya Dav Hachamim hold that no, his hands are separate. So how are we going to Rishon Lazar? He says that hands also can become a Rishon. Why only Rishon Lazar? The Gemara says, when Rabbi Akiva mentioned that case of the Tzaraat, how many mil b'Turat Kochim? They only pass the Turat Kochim, the Hamir, because they were more Machmer. But according to Halin, he would say that it's a Shini. Gemara says, so why don't you consider it a Shini? Because we know he said, Shini also Shlishi b'Halin. He holds a Shini can do a Shlishi for Hullin. He says he's one of the rare opinions to say that Shini can make a level 3 by Hullin on Kadosh. The Zamash says on that day, which refers to the day when Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah replaced Rabbi Hullin Anasi. Rabbi Akiva learned V'kol chli hares yitma. Tameh lo namar ela yitma. Doesn't say yit doesn't become tameh, rather it shall become tameh. The tameh ahim can, which means they can make other things tameh. Limera lakashani teaches you that a loaf of bread that's a shani level 2, shehu also can make a level 3 with holin. So why can we say it's a contra Akiva? The Gemara says maybe it's not referring to Tumah the Doraita, Adonai but not to Hamim, and therefore we're not sure that Rabbi Akiva would agree in our case of Hulin. Okay. Amar Rabbi Lazar Rishua, Amar Rabbi Yashia. Our easier answer, our Mishnah Tamar case, where it was Hulin is prepared for a higher level of Kedusha, right? So technically, that means that a person just wants to make believe he has Kedusha, or be on a higher level of Kedusha, so therefore he treats it as if it has a higher level. And therefore, that can be. Would look at Yeshua, and it's not according to Yeshua. Whoever eats a food of the Rishon, he becomes a Rishon. He eats a Shani, he becomes a Shani. He eats a Shashi, he becomes a Rishon. Someone eats a food that's a Rishon or Shani becomes a Shani. Shashi eats a Shashi, Shani the Kodesh, and Shani the Turma, he becomes a Shani for Kodesh, but not for Turma. Be'olin Shna Azua, Taradak Turma, regarding the Cholin that were prepared in the level of Tarab Tuma, Turma in only for Turma in. Only on for Truma, al Torah Kodesh lo, but not for Kodesh. Kasavar Cholin Shna Salah Torah Kodesh, let Bushri because he holds Cholin for Kodesh is not a 3. That's against what we're saying now. So our Mishnah is not according to him. But look, maybe our Mishnah could be according to him. But Cholin Shna Salah Torah Truma, it's not Truma in our case. Yeshua is according to Yeshua. Mishnah can't think that the Tani Wasar because mentioned meat. The Ibn Truma, Truma, Basar Meika, no such thing as a meat for Truma that level. Right, says, I believe no, the Koshim, recording Koshim, Hayab Koshim Ika. We mentioned the Hayat in the Mishnah. There's no such thing as a Hayat. Right, it says, Basar bil Basar Mihdaf. The meat of the Behemah can be confused with the meat of Hayat. Therefore, someone who's treating their Halin food like Kodesh will do so regardless of what he has. So, yes, Hayat can never have a Korban, but in his freezer of all the meats of domesticated and non-domesticated animals, he'll keep them separately. He'll prepare it like Kodesh as well. Therefore, it's not referring to Cholin, but also regular Cholin could be referring to the Cholin that's kept in a high level of Kedusha.